in Bloomington, Indiana, ready to go see my Hoosiers take on Kansas. And when I arrived at Assembly Hall, I joined Christian Watford, who hit the famous shot against Kentucky in 2011. He hosts a podcast with Derek Elston in the lobby of Assembly Hall before this game called Beyond the Big Ten. Asked me to be on the podcast with our own Alex Rich. We had a great time visiting with him. Then IU went out, and I mean, they lit up Kansas in the first half. That place was about to fall down. It was rocking like I haven't heard it in a long time. And back came the Jayhawks. That's why they're good. They found a way. The officiating did not help, but I'm not here to complain. I never have blamed officiating on a game, but it did not help. IU kind of got homered in their own gym. But anyway, Kansas found a way to win the game, 75-71, did a terrific job coming back and beating the Hoosiers. Good road win for IU. I mean, for Kansas, not going to hurt IU necessarily, but it's a missed opportunity. Then got in the car and got home as soon as I could because my daughter was having a birthday party. Her birthday is today. Happy birthday, Audrey. The big 1-3 today. I got two teenagers now. We have two teenagers in the house. But we took her entire basketball team to the SLU game, and I met them at the school so we could bus down together and then go to the game. We went into the game and saw SLU take a lead. It was like a carbon copy. SLU takes a big lead. They're beating a good Louisiana Tech team who was favored in the game. And then here comes Tech, and Tech is experienced. They're poised. They didn't turn the ball over one time yesterday, not one time. And SLU, who was playing a tight, really man-to-man half-court defense is the reason why, and protecting the paint. But anyway, they weren't taking a lot of gambles defensively, you know what I mean? But SLU loses the lead, and Louisiana Tech takes a 6-point lead, and I'm sitting there like, this isn't happening to me again, is it? And here comes, not just SLU, but here comes Terrence Hargrove Jr. First, with the score 70-64, mind you, with 36 seconds left. The clock winds down to 28 seconds, and he does this.
In the front court with Hargrove. Drive to the hole. Jam time. Flight 22. Travis wanted a foul, and he did get it.
It's a three-point play opportunity, so it's the best scenario.
So Hargrove Airlines with the dunk, and suddenly it's 70-67, then a foul, and one of two free throws made by Louisiana Tech. So it's 71-67.
Hargrove has the big on him. Head and shoulder fake. Drive to the hole. Layup good, Hargrove. Timeout St. Louis. 2-point game. 17 seconds left.
All right, so 71-69. Quick foul. Now it's 71-69. They make, again, one of two free throws. It's a 3-point lead for Louisiana Tech, 72-69.
Medley with Hargrove. Hargrove between the circles, gets a screen, takes a three. Bang, you got it. Tie game. TJ Hargrove, 6 seconds left.
72-72. Then you hear that whistle right there. They throw the ball in, and a foul is called on SLU in the backcourt with 5 seconds left. Unbelievable. And the Tech is a good team. They make both free throws, and it's now 74-72 Louisiana Tech. One last chance for SLU.
74-72. 5 seconds. Here comes Hargrove. Hargrove across the timeline. 3, 2, 1. Bang, you got it! The Billikens win! The Billikens win! Hargrove at the buzzer! Hargrove at the buzzer! Hits the three! What a run by Terrence Hargrove Jr. to finish the game. Dunks and threes, all from Hargrove. He wins at the buzzer. Holy cow, 75-74. Terrence Hargrove Jr. hits the three at the buzzer. Earl Austin Jr., I don't believe it.
I didn't either, and neither did this building. It was unbelievable. Hargrove hits the shot. The kid is just amazing. He runs around the perimeter of the court, high-fiving fans, and after getting swarmed by his teammates, and the Billikens win the game 75-74. That's 11 points in the final 28 seconds for Terrence Hargrove Jr. He scores the Billikens' last 11 points in the final 28 seconds. And the Billikens win the game. Incredible. Bob Ramsey, Earl Austin Jr. with the coach.
Travis Ford joins us. I don't know if I've seen a finish like that by an individual.
He didn't have any point. All his points came at the 5 spot. Every point he scored came at the 5. But, that's exactly how we planned it. That's what we practiced yesterday, 100%. We just said, listen, here's how we're going to win it. And
you're heading out to the Funny Bone after this? Is that the thing?
Yeah, how about that, Travis Ford? He'll be joining us live at 10:30. What an incredible, wacky, crazy finish. SLU beats Louisiana Tech. Boy, do they need that. They get a nice win. Now they go to NC State on Wednesday. They'll have their hands full, but nice back-to-back wins for a team that can't shake the injury bug, can't get players cleared. They finally get Azuero cleared, and he's good. The big man, wait till he starts to round into shape. He's pretty good. He scored 17 points, so SLU gets a very nice win. Then right down the street, we get into our bus. And by the way, back to the girls, they're like thrilled. I mean, they can't believe it. They're bouncing up and down. They got moved down to the floor to the student section. SLU recognized that they were there, so they moved them down so they could be right on the floor and help with the energy because the students, aren't there. And they were dancing and screaming and having a good time. Anyway, we get it back on the bus. And then this happens in overtime at Enterprise Center.
He'll drop it off for Thomas. Trying to find some room and some speed to the speedster Cairo. He darts up the middle. In on goal. Cairo. Save. Rebound. They score! Parayko wins it. Goodbye. Good night.
That's big on Bally Sports Midwest. John Kelly with the call. Not only the goal from Parayko, 37 seconds, but the play by Cairo and the response that Cairo got and the bounce back after getting booed on Thursday and being very emotional about it. Now the cheers coming down. That's family. Family, sometimes you have an argument. Family, sometimes you get reprimanded, but they still love you. And that's exactly what happened to a young Jordan Cairo. Now he feels the love of the fans. Didn't take long. Fans will be there for him, and the Blues get a terrific win, 4-3 over the Dallas Stars. We'll talk that over with Drew Bannister, the interim coach of the Blues, at 10:45. I mentioned Travis at 10:30, but we are 1 minute away from the president of baseball operations of the St. Louis Cardinals. John Mozeliak will join us a little early today, and that's because we have Chiefs football. The Chiefs and the Patriots get going with an 11 a.m. pregame, so we'll take you to that. But next, it's John Mozeliak on KMOX.
So you're thinking, great boat, 60 grand, but hey, we can have fun on the water. She's thinking, what, 3, maybe 4 months a year if we're lucky? You're thinking tow ropes and wakeboards. She's thinking granite countertops and undermount sinks. You're back to thinking about summers. But she's thinking about all year, every day, rain or shine. And she's also thinking 3 days and about half the cost. That's right, 3 days and half the cost. Your kitchen or bath can have a completely new look in just 3 days or less. Guaranteed. Top quality products and craftsmanship, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And you and your family will enjoy it all year, day in and day out, with no tow ropes needed. Now, what are you thinking? Find out more about how your kitchen or bath can be the kitchen or bath of your dreams in just 3 days. Just visit 3daykitchen.com. That's 3daykitchen.com.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Get into the holiday spirit and listen to The Christmas Station, 102.5 KEZK, for all the sounds of the season, from Mariah to the holiday classics.
It's the most.
Plus, keep rocking around the Christmas tree no matter where you are with 102.5 KEZK on the free Odyssey app. Turning your home into a winter wonderland? Ask your smart speaker to play 102.5 KEZK. Enjoy the holiday season your way on the radio, on your smart speaker, and on the free Odyssey app.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. Crazy day last night with the Billikens and Blues both winning in dramatic fashion. Travis Ford, Drew Bannister, our next two guests. But first, it is the president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak of the St. Louis Cardinals, joining us early and joining us live. And we appreciate this. It's an hour show because of the Chiefs, so thanks for joining us early.
Good morning.
Morning. How are things going in your world? I have noted that we talk on this show. We have a policy. You have a policy. We don't talk about free agents, but I always tell people, listen to John Mozeliak. He tells you what he's going to do. I mean, you told us you were going after innings, and what did you do? You picked up Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and a really good one in Sonny Gray. You've also told us that you were going after some bullpen help, and just curious how that's going. If I recall, it was you're looking for maybe a high leverage arm to accompany what you have.
Yeah, so a couple things. It's been a couple weeks since we last spoke, but we were able to pick up someone in the Rule 5 that we think can give us depth. We were able to move T.O., which we also are excited about the arm we got in that deal. And then ultimately, as we look towards this week, I still think we're going to try to add something in the bullpen. I do feel like from a market standpoint, a lot of times as you start to approach Christmas, people get much more eager to try to do something. And, so it'd be sort of interesting to see how these, next 5 or 6 days play out with regards to movement. But, if we're not able to do what we hope to do in the next week or so, we'll flip over to get past Christmas and, we'll still be looking around. So there's still a lot of time. And, right now, I think we're still in a pretty good spot from a Cardinal perspective. So, pretty bullish on our offseason so far.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you did pretty quickly. And was that the strategy from the beginning to try to fill those 3 rotation spots as fast as you could? Was part of the strategy to get ahead of the market a little bit and just make sure you had it in place?
Well, yes, because my biggest fear was if we were too patient or not aggressive enough, then I was just worried that those types of players or pitchers wouldn't be available. So, as we talked about before, one of the things that we were really valuing is we felt there was a void in our clubhouse last year from just experience, someone who's been through it. And when you look at the 3 pitchers we signed, what do they all have in common? They're uber competitive. They understand the day-to-day routine of 162 over 187, and they want the ball. And so when you factor these things into it, those are the types of characteristics that we wanted to try to identify, not just for trying to get north of 160 innings on the mound, but we also wanted to get some presence in that clubhouse, and all 3 of those guys check all those boxes.
Certainly. And I know that I don't know for sure, but I'm going to assume that you leave the door open if anything presents itself starter wise still. Like it's always a fluid situation and you leave it open. I also recall in terms of depth, the fact that, if somebody does go down, what do you do? And do you feel pretty good about that at the moment?
I mean, I do think we feel okay about it, but to your point, why close doors today? I mean, there's still plenty of time in this off season, and there could be something that presents itself that just makes sense. And we actually like our bullpen. I think we do think like the Helsley, Gallegos, and Romero are a pretty good way to finish a game, and they give you some flexibility. And I do feel like Gallegos did not have the year he hoped last year, but I think ending the season on the IL gave him additional time to rest. Right now, he seems to be having a very normal and I'd say like positive off season. So, we're hoping Gallegos gets back to what we saw a couple of years ago and gives us that sort of flexibility. So when you think about adding a rotation arm still versus bullpen, all we want to do is shorten this game. It's 9 innings, and the deeper we can go with our starters, the better our bullpen will be, regardless who's in it. So that's really been the key of this offseason. And, we're going to continue to work that way through the remainder 2 months before we get down to Jupiter.
Innings are a big deal. I mean, the numbers play it out. You're better when your starters go deeper into a game. It's just the way it is. But I thought that a big loss for you last year was Helsley, actually. I know we make a lot of Wainwright's injury and Michaelis getting off to a slow start and the WBC and all that stuff, and we focus on your starters, but Helsley missed like half the year. And doesn't that change your bullpen structure?
Absolutely. So what ended up happening last year was our starters weren't going very deep. So we expose our bullpen. We overuse our bullpen early. And then when you lose somebody like a closer at any point, that can derail a season. I mean, look at what happened with the Mets. They were built to win. They lose their closer, and they just never got on track. And so that's why, like, when you think about roster building, it's like you're always trying to make sure you can protect yourself for the what if. I think last year our what if became kind of everything, and that became a problem. So, we're just going to try to go into this coming season, 2024, with as much insurance / protection as we can find.
I know that you spent a lot of time through the years with Tyler O'Neill. So, players get moved, and I know that sometimes it feels like pieces, on a chessboard or whatever, but they are human beings. And I know that you spent a lot of time with Tyler through the years, but ultimately I think the number one reason was you needed to create some sort of relief in your outfield. Do you feel like that's there? Do you think the logjam has been lifted in the outfield?
Well, I imagine you could probably name about 4 or 5 guys that are going to say, well, there's still a logjam, but I definitely feel like trying to get, T.O. and DC at bats when you're already trying to pencil in somebody like Newt, Tommy Edman, and Walker, it's going to be challenging. And, Burleson right now, Palacio, these guys are all, parts on a team. And it did help to sort of clear something out. And, the purpose of TO was really that, as we started to look around, the one guy that we didn't want to trade was DC, because he does give you protection in all 3 outfield positions versus, we felt like TO was not very comfortable playing center field, and therefore just wanted to make sure that, we kept that insurance for 2024. But, camp's going to be competitive. And that's one thing I, certainly want our listeners to understand, that, we're going to go into this camp, and guys are going to be, fighting for playing time, fighting for how this season's going to begin and where they're going to slot into that lineup or on the bench. And so that's always exciting. I think sometimes when you just all of a sudden have your starting 8 kind of penciled out, it can be a duller camp. Whereas I think this year, there's going to be some real competition. And, you think about what's going on where Donovan and Gorman, for example, in the infield, obviously Contreras, Goldie, and Nolan, you can pencil in, but the rest is going to be like, let's see how we look and how people show up.
How is Donovan? Is he going to be good to go, ready to go?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's progressing really well. Had a medical update early last week, and there were no real red flags for anyone at this point. So, knock on wood, and that's encouraging.
I'm curious your thoughts on Victor Scott. When I saw him in spring training last year, I was like, who the heck is that? I mean, he flies. Speed was unbelievable. Then I discover he's more than that. He started to become a hitter and a really good fielder.
Yeah, I think when he was drafted, he was a sprinter. I think now he's becoming a baseball player, and that's a great compliment. And so I think he's going to be a fun guy to watch, fun guy to follow. And, when you're looking at someone that has that type of elite speed and knows how to use it, it's a powerful tool. I mean, he literally doesn't hit for a lot of power, but the fact he gets on base, it could be a double or triple fast because he's that good of a base runner. And we're very excited about him. I was talking with Flo the other day, and, he's really excited about this guy's talent, and, just reminded me he's got real upside, so don't block him.
Right. That's Randy Flores, of course, the director of scouting, who's done a terrific job with that farm system. Great personality, good, always fun to spend time with him. John Mozeliak with us for just a few more minutes. Shohei Ohtani, oh my, that contract changed. It changed like by the day, it seemed, based on reports. First it's $700 million, then it's $680 million deferred, then he has an opt-out according to the AP. I mean, what was your overall reaction to everything that happened there?
I think this contract's very misunderstood. So I'm going to try to do a
yeah, please.
Contract 101 for everybody.
I do want to hear this. Yes.
So the face of this contract is worth $700 million, but in present value terms, it's really worth $460 million. And what that really means is, if you don't understand the value of a dollar, I could give you $1 today, and it is worth $1. If I choose to give you that dollar 10 years from now, that dollar is worth about 46 cents.
Mm-hmm.
So what ends up happening here is, from a gross standpoint, it's a $700 million contract. What the Dodgers will have to book is $46 million a year based on those deferrals. Now, this is a unicorn type deal, right? Because not many people sign a contract and defer it's a $700 million contract and defer 680. That's very rare. But the reason he has the ability to do that is because he has off the field income that allows him to not have to worry about getting paid currently. And so it, to his benefit, could be a tax benefit down the road. I mean, there's some risk on either side because of interest rates and that type of thing. But, net, not many people can just agree to these types of terms because they don't have the off the field income or passive income from other places. So the key to this is just understanding present value of the dollar. And so Dodgers will book $46 million over the next 10 years, which obviously is $460 million, which is a record. But, the 700, I think everybody took a step back when they saw that number.
Yeah, no question. No, that's very well broken down. We appreciate that. And the competitive balance tax and all of those things that factor in that $46 million figure. We appreciate that. The other thing, I know that actually, I talked to Bill DeWitt III about this, that they have a very healthy television contract out there. We know that. We also know that the television situation just sort of around Major League Baseball has some effect through a lot of these teams. So what is your overarching view of that situation as it stands right now?
Well, I think the simplest way to say it is there's a lot of volatility right now in local revenue or local media revenue. So some teams have already been told the type of hit they're going to take. Other teams are still fingers crossed and trying to remain optimistic. So I think over the next probably month, you're going to have you're going to have a much clearer picture on what it looks like from an industry standpoint. But most recently, even Seattle just took over their TV rights. So there's a lot of change happening right now, but the easiest way to think about it for a summary statement would be there's volatility in local media revenue.
We appreciate you helping us navigate that as well. And thank you for your time. Again, thanks for doing this early. Have a great rest of your Sunday. We appreciate it.
All right. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Great to visit with John Mozeliak, the Cardinals president of baseball operations on KMOX. Travis Ford, boy, he's got to be happy this morning. Although I don't think he's very happy with his team's play lately. So we're going to go through both of those, the buzzer beater and the overall team. It's 10:29. Travis Ford is next. Blues interim coach Drew Bannister will be with us at 10:45.
Nobody wants a surprise in their jelly donut. It's toothpaste? That's because the middle is the most important part. At Graybar, we're at the middle of electrical and datacom jobs across the country, connecting installers, facility managers, and business owners with smart solutions for their most challenging projects, which means stocking and delivering crucial products on time and on budget with no surprises, thanks to our nationwide logistics network. Yep, Graybar does that.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The verdict is in. STL Today is named under law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. Thank you, St. Louis, and we vow to continue our mission to not only deliver exceptional results, but to change the way companies do business and make St. Louis a safer place, one case at a time.
When you're injured, you need the best. Call Onder Law at 314 or 618-90000.
How old are elves? Does Mrs. Claus have a first name? Is the fur attached to the top of Santa's boots or the bottom of Santa's pants? Some holiday mysteries may never be solved, but with holiday scratchers and draw games from the Missouri Lottery, finding the perfect gift doesn't have to be one of them. The spark of possibility that comes with every ticket versus the disappointment of yet another ugly holiday sweater. The better gift is clear. Give holiday scratchers and draw games from the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
Here's an unexpected holiday surprise for all the last-minute shoppers. Now through December 17th, all of Diamond's Direct Diamond Classics are 25% off. That's all diamond earrings, all diamond bracelets, all diamond pendants, an incredible 25% off. Special financing, too. Get the perfect gift at the best value price all year. 25% savings on all diamond earrings, bracelets, and pendants. Now through the 17th only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Royal Banks of Missouri is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks brings in experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, and equal opportunity lender. Looking for a new home or to refinance your current mortgage? Royal Banks of Missouri wants to be your home buying partner. With a local staff that will guide you through the process, Royal Banks is an experienced mortgage lender that you can trust. There's still time to lock in on a low rate. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Great to visit with John Mozeliak. Last segment, you can go back and listen to that at 10:15. Drew Bannister, interim coach of the St. Louis Blues. What a thrilling win they had last night. He is at 10:45. But right now,
74-72. 5 seconds. Here comes Hargrove. Hargrove across the timeline. 3, 2, 1. Bang, you got it! The Billikens win! The Billikens win! Hargrove at the buzzer! Hargrove at the buzzer! Hits the 3! What a run by Terrence Hargrove Jr. to finish the game. Dunks and threes, all from Hargrove. He wins at the buzzer. Holy cow, 75-74. Terrence Hargrove Jr. hits the 3 at the buzzer. Earl Austin Jr., I don't believe it.
Oh, it was unbelievable. And joining us after that call on KMOX is the head coach of the St. Louis Billikens. Billikens Report with Travis Ford, sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri. Good morning, Coach. What do you think when you hear that call?
Well, that's exciting. I tell you, it's we had a really good first half, played a great first half, and really let up defensively in the second half. But really proud of our team for sticking with it, playing till the end. And what an amazing, exciting last minute of the game, last 28 seconds for TJ to score 11 points in 28 seconds. We needed every single one of them. But, I said after the game, when you've been doing this as long as I have and around sports and playing it and coaching it, it's the old saying, the thrill of victory, and we've seen the agony of defeat as well. You see, you've been on both sides of it, but it sure feels good to be on this side.
Yeah, it does. If that ball rims out, you lose the game, and you think about letting that lead get away. I totally get it. How about Hargrove? He looks like LeBron James out there on that last play. He's like, gets the defender off balance. He pulls up and knocks down a 3. I mean, and before that too, on the tying one.
Yeah, made a great inside-out move on the end, and there was 5 seconds left on the clock when they were at the free throw line. They miss, and you really actually have time to. We could either have taken a 2 or 3. Take, as we told them, take the best shot you can get. But you also got to be cognizant of the clock, things you work on in practice. And, them, actually missing the shot took off a second, and we got the rebound and actually threw the ball to TJ, which took up another second. So he had no choice to take a 3 at that point. Just an amazing 28 seconds.
It really was. 11 points in 28 seconds for Terrence Hargrove Jr. The Billikens win a thriller 75-74 against a good Louisiana Tech team. That is a good team over there, and you could just see them gain confidence. They were very vocal on their bench. They were yelling and screaming, and encouraging their defense to do what they could. You mentioned that you didn't like your defense in the second half. Theirs wasn't too bad, but you were running some really good offense. That's an experienced team over there. On the flip side, your team is like, I mean, you can't shake the injury bug. You got players that can't get cleared. I mean, I don't know how you're patching it together, but you were able to these last two at least. Actually, you know what? Since the Southern Illinois game, you've had the pedal down.
Yeah, Tom, it's well talked about. It's been an interesting month and a half, and I've been doing this a long time. You're talking about major injuries to your team, starting with your leading scorer. You're sitting there 4-0 as a basketball team with some really good wins under your belt, averaging about 82 points a game, and you lose a guy that's averaging 20. Then the injury bug hits our whole team. Now we've added a really good player in the middle of the week. It's just we've had to change gears of not just personnel, but we've changed gears of how we play. Just the style of play from everything we worked on in the preseason, we've had to change it based on personnel. Just really, and I remind my team of this almost daily, how much I appreciate them adapting to all the different types of adversity that we've experienced, and it's been fun to watch them get better since that game you mentioned. And, adding Brad Azawaro is going to continue to make our team better as he continues to get in shape, as he continues to understand and play with this team. But, yeah, it was a really good win, as you mentioned. Louisiana Tech is a very, very old team, maybe the most experienced team we've played yet. Came in 9-2, playing extremely well. So a really, really good win for our team. As great as poor defense as I thought we played first half, we played elite defense the first half. That puts, I start talking about both sides, and as typical as a coach, you think more about the things you didn't do well. But what we did the first half probably put us in a position to win the game. I mean, holding them to 27 points was not easy to do.
No, it is not. It is not. By the way, and I want to circle back to Azawaro, but how do you practice during finals week? I mean, how do you keep players focused on everything they have to do? And were those practices, I'm not blaming finals, but I'm just saying, what was that week like of practice?
Well, finals week, Tom, is always difficult in a lot of ways. Normally you have a set time you practice every day, and that's a set routine. When finals hit, you may practice where we normally practice at like 2:30 in the afternoon every day. You may practice at 5 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock in the morning. You're just trying to fit it in around their academic schedule, their final schedule. Then you add in all the stress that goes into finals. And, we try to give our guys a lot of time to focus on their academics. We took off a few more days maybe than we normally would. So we got a lot of young players, a lot of freshmen that never really experienced finals before, so we wanted to give them the extra time. And the stress of that, then you add in there, for 48 hours, we're trying to figure out, is Brad Azawaro playing? Is he not playing? We're dealing with injuries. I thought this week would allow us to get a little bit healthier. Larry Hughes obviously did get healthier, but, one of our players that we think is playing the best, Kellen Thames, just couldn't go last night. He tried to go, gave us a couple of good minutes, and then I looked at him in the second half, said, Kellen, can you go? And he's just like, I can't go, coach. I can't go. Didn't get Mike Meadows back. Obviously don't have Sincere Parker back. So it's a long week. It was a very, very long week. Some finals week throughout my career, you get a lot done. Some finals week, you don't get much done at all. And unfortunately, that was kind of our week this week.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Jimerson's been hurt this year. Medley, right? Isn't Medley a little banged up too?
Yes, Sion's been a little banged up. He got banged up last night. We initially didn't think he was going to be able to come back. He got hurt mid-first half, but he's a tough little guy, and he knew how bad we needed him and put on a knee brace and got back out there and did a really good job.
Izawaro looks like he belongs. I mean, he is a post Division I college basketball postman. He knows how to score. He knows how to rebound. He's got some confidence in him. But I'll tell you what, he looks the part. But I'm not in your locker room, but I've got to think that he's still trying to figure out what's going on out there. I mean, right?
It almost became funny last night, mid-first half. We're calling out plays, and he has no idea. We're just trying to orchestrate it. You can literally see me on the sidelines trying to point him to where to go and what to do in the middle of a heated basketball game, and he is doing the best he can. And people may wonder, well, why does he not know the plays? Well, once you start the season, he goes to the scout team. So, we've got to go with the players that are playing in the game. And you start learning the other team's plays. You're not focused as much on our plays. Not that he knew some. He did, we have so many of them. But that's how when you're on the scout team, you're running the other team's play literally daily once the season starts, because we've been playing a game probably every 3 to 4 days. There's not much time to work on yourself. You're preparing for a game. So you saw the potential of Brad Ezelworld. You saw what he can bring. Now, once he gets in better shape, once he starts learning the system better, I think he's just going to continue to help our team more and more each game.
Yeah, the guy scores 17 points with 5 rebounds. He even had an assist. He did foul out of the game, but I thought he was really good. So I was there last night with my 7th grade girls team. They were the ones making noise next to they got moved down in the second half. So the SLU staff, to their credit, your game day staff spotted them. They came down to throw the stuffed animals onto the floor at your teddy bear toss with those gifts going to Salvation Army. And so your SLU staff brought them down into the student section. They were right behind the basket close to the Louisiana Tech bench. So they were trying to all wave their arms and, get those free throws to miss. Maybe they did play a factor. I don't know. But they were having an absolute ball. And I told them afterwards, we got on the bus and I handed out their uniforms. They got their jerseys for the first time. And I said, what a game. And I said, let that be a lesson. Never stop playing. And they absolutely ate that up. That's exactly right. That game it looked lost there. Never stop till that final buzzer sounds, right?
Your message to your team, your daughter's team, is the exact same message I gave my team after the game. And I said, you just never know. You never know. Whether you're way out of a game, you keep playing, whether you're working on something or whether you're just trying to get better or whether it's close, you keep playing till the very, very end, because you never know what can happen as far as winning and losing, but you also want to always try to get better no matter what. And I thought we saw a great example of that because we led most of the game. Most of the game we had a 6 to 8 to 9, 10-point lead. And then we really fatigued, I thought we really fatigued for some reason, late first, second half. But energy under 1 minute and was able to pull it off. But you're exactly right. Keep playing till the final buzzer because you never know.
Yeah, that's the fun of basketball. Well, I had some basketball day. I was at the Indiana-Kansas game before that and then came in to take my team down to Chaffetz for your game. It was a heck of a day, a 1-2 punch like I haven't experienced in a while. And then now you're going to NC State. That will be no picnic. I mean, that's an ACC team playing at home. What do you see there in our final thing here, Coach?
Talented basketball team. Very, very talented. A lot of skill, big men inside, scores, change defenses a lot. It's going to be a great challenge on the road.
We appreciate you very much. Thanks for doing this. And in case I don't talk to you, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas, Tom. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Coach Travis Ford and the Billikens, what a win for them over Louisiana Tech, 75-74. Quick break and another big win for this man. Drew Bannister, the interim coach of the St. Louis Blues, will be with us for our final segment. We're going to the Chiefs early today, 11 a.m. pregame for the Chiefs and the Patriots. Back after this, the Billiken Report, sponsored by Royal Banks of Missouri.
When it's chilly, there's nothing dreamier than coming home, unless your furnace is on the fritz and your home is less than cozy. No worries. Just call the Fix-It-Right guys at Jerry Kelly. They're fast, they're friendly, and they do have it going on. Whether it's a minor mend or a full install, they'll do it quick and do it right. For a consistently cozier home, call Jerry Kelly, 8A to 8P, 7 dreamy days of the week, or at jerrykelly.com.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service, Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-384-7878. That's 800-384-7878. 800-384-7878.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Under Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Have you been wanting to find the secret to losing weight and getting healthy the natural way without drugs or injections? Hey everyone, it's Dr. Michael Glickert with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and I know the secret to losing a half a pound to a pound of fat every day, naturally, safely, and effectively, without counting points or calories, no prepackaged meals, no hormones, no drugs, no injections or surgery. Schedule a free consultation now at moweightloss.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and I just would like to reiterate what Dr. Glickert said, that you can lose a half a pound to a pound per day with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. And I can say that with confidence because that's what happened for me. Getting on the scale every morning, losing a half a pound to a pound was extremely motivating to stay on my plan. I lost 20 pounds in the first month. I've lost over 40 pounds altogether using St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. It really is not that hard when you follow their plan. Find out more by going to moweightloss.com. moweightloss.com.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
We'll drop it off for Thomas. Trying to find some room and some speed to the speedster Cairo. He darts up the middle. In on goal, Cairo. Save, rebound, they score! Parayko wins it! Goodbye, good night!
Great call there, John Kelly on Bally Sports Midwest. Blues win it in overtime. They knock off the Dallas Stars 4-3. And joining us, the man behind the bench, he is 2-0 as interim coach of the St. Louis Blues. Drew Bannister is with us. Drew, it's great to catch up with you. You and I have not met yet, but I look forward to that day, and I appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Appreciate you taking the time to speak to me this morning. And yeah, good morning.
It's great to talk to you. Good morning to you, and what a win. A terrific win. What a play there. Set up that play for us, if you would. Cairo and then Parayko banging it home.
Yeah, I think I talked a little bit about Jordan's game yesterday in the presser, and certainly his ability to create plays by using his speed, and I think you see that in that clip where he was able to gain some speed. Him and Robbie had kind of built their speed both with a few drops in the neutral zone until Jordan saw a window to be able to attack, and he's really dangerous when he's able to drive through and to the net, and obviously Perry following it up, making a pretty skilled play for a big man to be able to pull that puck off the goal line and put it under the crossbar.
Yeah, and the Blues get a terrific win over the Stars, and they've won back-to-back good games. You beat the Senators, and now you've beaten the Stars, and you're off and running. Before we talk about your players, I want to talk about you for a minute. What was that phone call like in that whirlwind, I'm certain, of a day, getting you to St. Louis, learning that you were going to take over for Craig Berube?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a call that you expect. I think I talked about this a little bit. Just Doug and I do have conversations, about players, about the team at times. Usually late night phone calls are after games. There's usually injuries that are involved, and we're talking about players that are being called up. Because Kevin Maxwell, my GM down there, I knew he was on the road. So at the time, so I kind of, when the phone call came through, in my thought, it was probably something towards injury and somebody calling up. So, as the conversation went on, and I was offered the job to come in as an intern basis, certainly, a very, very humbling experience, extremely excited, a lot of anxiousness and nerves too at the same time. Certainly didn't get any sleep that night, had to start packing, and then get up in the morning, get myself to the rink in Springfield, collect myself down there, see my staff, say our goodbyes, and then jump on a plane and, had a layover in Baltimore, got into to St. Louis around 4:30, I guess, got myself to the rental car, got to the hotel, was able to unpack a little bit, unwind, found something to eat, and then, another, not a great night's sleep, but a little bit of sleep, and into the rink in the morning, and getting prepared for that game that night.
That feeling not sleeping, I'm sure, is a mixture of all kinds of stuff: nervousness, excitement, anxiousness, all those things, because you're about to do something that you probably always thought about. When would that day come? And again, at the expense of Chief losing his job, but you do have that opportunity. You and I are about the same age. You're 49, I'm 48. And when you spend a lot of years doing something, you gain that confidence. It's immeasurable what length of time can do for you. I'm sure you've experienced a lot of highs, lows, and all of that factors into being ready for this assignment.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And, I think, I'll go back to my playing career. I grew up in Northern Ontario playing hockey and, playing at high levels and going through major junior and then being drafted to the NHL, going through the ups and downs of being an American. At the time I was playing in the IHL. That's where Tampa's farm team was in Atlanta. So some ups and downs there, and, kind of being a bubble player at the NHL level, trying to find my way. Managed to stay in the league for up and down for 4 or 5 years, but continued my career after that. Had some pretty good success with some teams winning some championships, at the American League level. Went over to Europe, had some success over there. Came back over for a year in 2010 with Ottawa, more in a veteran kind of leadership role down in the American League, kind of mentoring some younger players. Eric Carlson was my defense partner at that time. And then, later on in my career, went back to Europe, started as Reg Dunlop player coach for 2 years. I had such a passion for the game, playing, loved the game, loved the room, loved being around the guys. I just felt, that it was something that I wanted to continue, and it was a path that I could continue being a part of the game. And where that took me was to Owen Sound as an assistant coach for 3 years. Had great people to work with there. Dale DeGray was the general manager at the time. Greg Ireland, who was the head coach, really loved working with them. Learned a lot. And then after the 3 years, I was able to apply and get the job in Sault Ste. Marie, where I played my junior hockey. And again, worked with a lot of great people there. Cal Raftis, who's the GM. At that time, I'd just taken over from Sheldon Keefe, who had left to go to the Marlies. And we had 3 great years there. And then, moved on to St. Louis with the American League team, and been there for, I guess, 5.5 years now. minus the COVID year where we were in Utica and we did a split, and we were working as two teams there. So a lot of ups and downs from playing and the coaching and failing and learning and moving on and getting better. I think there's, I'm one person that never rushes into anything. I want to make sure that I'm ready when the opportunity comes. Certainly when, I left Owen Sound to go to the Sioux, I felt at that time I was ready to become a head coach. I know there was going to be, certainly some avenues that I had to adjust to, and there'd be some ups and downs, and there was, and I became a better coach from it. And then, the same, I go from junior where I'm dealing with teenagers to now dealing with pros in the American League level, guys that have played in the NHL, players coming out of junior. Now people have families, they have kids. So that was the adjustment of how to deal with the individuals, the adults, the kids coming out of junior. And again, it was always a test. Sometimes you fail, you learn from it, you move on and you become a better coach. And I think over the last, 2.5 years, 3 years in Springfield, we've really done a great job, our staff, of getting our players prepared, in Springfield, and we've had a lot of success down there.
Well, it's great to get to know you. I really appreciate this. Good luck in your next game and beyond. And thank you for doing this today. We appreciate it, Drew.
Thanks for having me, Tom. Anytime.
Drew Bannister with us on KMOX. The Chiefs are next.
This holiday season, the St. Louis Men's Clinic is here to bring you joy with a special $49 office visit, including a private consultation with one of their doctors, all in-office testing and lab work. Over a decade of expertise in treating erectile dysfunction means personalized and affordable plans. Don't wait. Call